Coming up next on CTV News, police move quickly and make an arrest in the Hines case. Plus, the outlook on 2024 looks good, and a Bowie State grad is using colors to tell stories. That and more up next on CTV News.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News update. Every year, the Prince George's Council holds a retreat to discuss projects and proposals members want on the agenda. This year, the retreat will be a bit different. Council members will be taking a 2-day field trip to tour the entire county. All 11 members were able to choose a location they want highlighted to expose other members to its impact on the community. Newly appointed Council Chair Jolene Ivey created the idea based on similar retreats done in the state legislature.
And we're going to tour the entire county. Every council member had an opportunity to submit where they'd like to go and where they'd like to highlight. Some people chose something that's got a development angle to it. Some people were more concerned about crime. You know, there are different ways you can look at any location, and so we're going to travel around the county and see what's important to each of us and to have our own eyes on it.
The council road trip will take place next Monday and Tuesday. D.C. police have arrested a suspect in 18-year-old Ashley Hines' murder that took place early New Year's Day. 18-year-old Jelani Cousins was charged with second-degree murder in connection with Hines' shooting in a D.C. hotel room. Hines graduated from Wise High School in 2023, and according to her family, she was home on winter break from her freshman year at Louisiana State University. Hines' family told NBC4 that their daughter had gone with a friend to the New Year's Eve party at the Embassy Suites when some uninvited guests crashed the party and an altercation took place. Hines became the district's first homicide report in 2024. Police arrest a man for killing his friend who had been reported missing since April. The suspect is 23-year-old Parrish Goody of Fort Washington. Damian Myers' family called police and filed a missing person report because they had not seen their son since April 14th of 2023 when he had got a ride from Goody. Investigators found evidence that Myers had been fatally shot in Goody's car. Goody admitted to shooting Myers and disposing of his body. Goody is being charged with first and second-degree murder. Myers' remains have not yet been located. Moving into 2024, many economists and investment analysts say the country actually will likely not avoid a recession this year, even as growth is expected to slow down during the first 6 months. The job market is also expected to remain strong, but not as hot as 2023. While the nation's unemployment rate is at 3.7%, Maryland continues to enjoy the nation's lowest rate at 1.8%. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, wages were up in November 4% over the previous year. Also, this is an election year, so economists say the outcome at the polls could spell economic turmoil in 2024. On the upside, consumer spending is expected to push the economy forward. As COVID and RSV cases increase in our area, one Maryland health group is urging healthcare systems to return to mask mandates. COVID Safe Maryland, which is a group of volunteer healthcare professionals, is making an urgent call based on rising respiratory illnesses at hospitals across the state. The group cited that the State Department of Health recommends healthcare facilities reinstate or update mandate requirements if respiratory cases at hospitals reach or exceed 10 per 100,000 residents. As of December 22nd, the weekly number was 11.4. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Coming up, a Bowie State alum is writing about his alma mater. Back in a moment.
Listen up. It's the fourth quarter. You're almost there. Your boys just turned 18, but they need one more push. Don't let them forget to register with the Selective Service System. It's required by law, and if they don't register, they'll miss out on many important federal benefits. Parents, teachers, coaches, say it with me. SSS.gov. SSS.gov. Let's get them registered today.
Good evening and welcome back. A Prince George's County Circuit Court judge is facing disciplinary misconduct charges as she files charges of her own against 3 fellow judges. April Ademiluyi claims that the commission is, quote, biased against her, saying charges were filed against her because of complaints that she made about fellow judges. She also claimed without evidence that one of the judges in the suit made a sexual advance towards her. The new charges against Ademiluyi state that she harassed a fellow judicial colleague and made unprofessional and inappropriate statements. Ademiluyi denies the new charges. No hearing date on the matter has been set. A Bowie State University graduate is not only an artist, but an author. Most recent book is all about his beloved alma mater. CTV's Katara Jones has more on this young man's journey.
I got into illustration a long time ago when I saw a lot of cartoons growing up as a kid, and I was like, what if I drew these?
This is Jamari Bush. The young artist has gained a big following on YouTube through his channel Cadillac Cartoons. Bush, who has more than 2.5 thousand subscribers, focuses on teaching others how to create their own illustrations.
I do a lot of how to draw videos relating to illustration, whether or not how to get these certain effects when it comes to drawing, like let's say metal, like how to draw metal, how to illustrate that, and some cool techniques when it comes to illustration.
The 22-year-old who recently graduated from Bowie State University is also an author. He published his first book, The Ultimate Guide to Cadillac Cartooning, which is his popular YouTube tutorials, but put in a book format.
I feel accomplished. Like, I feel like all this hard work that I did, I just feel like, I finally finished. What's next? What's the next project?
While at BSU, Bush was commissioned to create a coloring book that will be given away to young kids visiting the campus for its education game day.
They quickly reached out to me because my supervisor, her name is Coach T, she was in that meeting. So she reached out to me and was like, hey, can we get a coloring book? And I rose up to the challenge of having it done within a few days.
After many revisions and approvals, Jamari's BSU coloring and activity book was completed. He then had to get about 1,800 copies of his book printed for the big event.
She wanted it to be just a coloring book, but I came up with my own idea of like making it a coloring and activity book, because I wanted to include like some Bowie State facts or like some words that BSU and faculty and staff use all the time.
As for his future, Bush says he wants to become a successful art YouTuber. Katara Jones, CTV News.
Bush also says he releases new videos on his YouTube channel every Friday at noon. Commuters that use national park trails may have to find a different route if they pass through one of the parks slated for deer population reduction. The National Park Service will be taking on the project for the next 4 months. Highly trained firearms experts will work to minimize an overabundant population of white-tailed deer that has damaged forest regeneration for more than 20 years. They'll be working at night when parks are closed, and staff will be posted at road and trail closures. These are the parks that will be affected in Prince George's County. Commuters, including cyclists, have been advised to seek alternative routes. The population reduction effort will continue through April. All right, don't go anywhere. Simon Buggs has a preview of your Wednesday sports page.
Hey there, sports fans, and coming up in a bit, I got a chance to speak to some players from the Largo High School boys basketball team about the improvements they made in their game. That and more coming up in a bit. Stay right there, you don't want to miss it.
When you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you just want to feel better. Steroids help get my symptoms under control, but they come with problems and long-term risks. I need to look out for my future health. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation changed everything. They encouraged me to take action and even helped me find a specialist. We now have a plan that works for today and tomorrow. Don't put off finding an answer. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
The 2024-2025 FAFSA has opened with major overhauls in an attempt to simplify the loan application process. The new system uses a calculation called the Student Aid Index, which helps estimate how much a family can afford to put towards their students' college tuition. With this change, more low and moderate income students will be able to access federal grants, but wealthier families will be less eligible. The new FAFSA also does away with the so-called sibling discount that gave families more help if they have multiple children in college at the same time. The new form launched over the holiday weekend with some delays. The U.S. Department of Education says they are working on resolving those minor issues. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means? Yes, it's time for our pet of the week. Meet Balto. He's a 2-year-old Siberian Husky. Balto came to the shelter as a stray. Animal management says that he is missing one eye, but he doesn't let that stop him.
He loves off-leash activity. So we throw frisbees at him, we throw balls at him, and he's pretty good at fetching. He doesn't pull very hard on the leash, so that's a plus. He's 2, so he's past his puppy stage, but he's not considered a senior. So he's a good dog. Huskies are probably our second most popular breed here at the animal shelter. A lot of people get Huskies and don't really know a lot about their breed. They are very high energy dogs and require lots of exercise. So when they don't get exercise, then they like to kind of escape. If you would like to adopt Balto or any of his furry friends, call 301-780-7200.
Okay, everybody, it's time for your sports page. From the top to the bottom of the roster, the Largo High School boys basketball squad is loaded with talent. All of these players are able to contribute in some way that can help this team get back to the state championship game. CTV Sports caught up with the head coach of the Lions, Rodney Ward, and he talked about one player in particular that is a real difference maker for his squad.
Probably Jalen Johnson, sophomore, started pretty much every game last year as a freshman. He's grown a little bigger, got a little stronger, understands the game. As a freshman, he was kind of just playing. Now he's actually playing the game more from the neck up instead of just from the neck down. He was all-county last year and honorable mention all-state last year.
I caught up with Johnson as well as forward Cam Ward, and they told me the parts of their game they feel like they've improved on.
Shooting, my shooting definitely got a little better. I hit shots from anywhere, defense, rebounding, all that. Yeah, I've been working on this season. So
I would say my shooting is something that I wanted to work on, something I wanted to improve on. So I'm gonna just keep showing my skill level, and hopefully everyone takes notice.
Coaches also play a big part in the players' development, and Johnson, point guard Latrey Yawn, and Ward touched on how Coach Ward has helped them become better not only on the court, but off it as well.
Communicating, talking on the floor, better defensive play for sure. Giving people little talks, making mistakes, next play. That's how you make everybody better.
Every day, I learn something new from Coach Ward every day, either basketball-wise or not basketball-wise. It's like another role model, big role model, and he's just a great guy.
He just speaks the real. He knows what it is and what it's not, and he never tells you anything wrong. For on the court, he's always going to tell you what's the right spot, but it's more so off the court. Off the court, he tells you, make the right decisions, because those decisions could possibly impact the rest of your life. So I think that's what we take most of it. It's not really on the court. On the court, he's the best X and O guy I know, but off the court, he's one of the best people to talk to just from a life standpoint.
And that is your sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
All right, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast tonight. 35 cloudy, then isolated rain and maybe even some snow. Can you believe that? Thursday, 45 isolated rain and snow, 41 and mostly sunny Friday, and 40 and snow likely on Saturday. All right, that wraps up our CTV News tonight. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. I'm Taylor Thomas. Good night.